So this is going to be Meet the Dogs video. I'm going to start on the girls' side, and we'll start right here with Cheyenne. Hi, sweetie. So this is Cheyenne from our third litter. And that litter turned 1.5 years at the beginning of the year. And we didn't get a lot of training in this year, but she did really well. She did great in lead. She has to learn the commands, of course, but she likes to be out in front. She pays attention. She does like to direct. So she just needs to know the commands so that we can her and I can work together. Hey, sweetie, that's a good girl. Yes, that's a good girl. Okay. Next is Anna, Cheyenne's sister. So she's on that same litter. Really, all of these guys did about the same. They all ran really well. They were all in lead. They all did really good with lead. Anna really loves to run. That is just the thing for her. She loves to run in the yard as well out here. Loves to chase her dad, who was our fastest dog till all of these kids were born. So she is definitely born to run, and she likes to show it. Don't you, sweetie? Yes, a good girl. Yeah. Next door to her is her sister, Nezzy. Nez, yes. Okay, come up here. Come on, Nez. Nezzy, come on. That's a good girl. Yeah. Nezzy's a little bit taller and a little bit lengthier than her sister. She's really an ideal size for what we're doing. She was up in lead as well. Putting her with Nezzy, come on. Putting her with her mom is Nez. Kind of interesting. They're so much alike. Of course, again, Nezzy needs to learn her commands. But for what little we did, she shows great promise. Yeah, it's a good girl. Yes, a good girl. Okay. And then in the last kennel in this little section is Rosie and Spirit. They share this kennel. This is the biggest kennel, so they're sharing it. These sisters are from our first litter, and they're not just sisters. These two are best friends, and they get along great. Even when they're out of their kennel, they hang out with each other, and so that's why we can put them in here without any problems. Spirit is, of course, the mother of our second litter and the grandmother of the girls we just visited down there. And Rosie is the aunt and great aunt. And I plan to retire these two this fall. So they're not going to be on the racing team anymore. They'll still train on a recreational team. Girls? Girls? Yes. I had them out for a while, so they'd be a little bit calmer for the video. That's really calm, Rose. In the next section of kennel, these guys all got new bones today, so they're a little preoccupied. Here's my main girl here, Miss Quita. Hi, sweetie. Come here. Quita. Good girl. And Quite is the mother of the third litter. She's my main leader. She's learned to lead at a very young age, taught herself, had nothing to do with it. She's just born that way. Usually a pretty calm dog, quiet, very intelligent, very easy to work with, although, you know, she can be a bit stubborn when she thinks her idea of what we need to do is correct and mine is not. Right, sweetie? It's a good girl. And next to her is her sister Lizzie. Load up, Liz. Yeah. Oh, you're kidding. Liz is, of course, the character of the kennel. Smallest of her litter. This is my second litter, all through here. She's the smallest. She also gets stomach upset very easily if she's too stressed. So I keep her job pretty low key. I wouldn't want to put her in wheel because of her size and the fact that we carry a heavy load. I've tried her in lead, and she actually, the last lead I did with her, she did really well, but then got sick afterwards. So, I keep her on team, but she does an awesome job. She's got one of the fastest trots here. She settles into a trot very fast, while other dogs are still in lope, and I really don't know how she does it with her little legs, but she's a good runner. So until that changes, she gets to be on the team. Although this year I will be training 13 to 14 dogs, and if I actually get into the 12-dog races, that means 1 or 2 of them will have to be eliminated prior to each race. If everybody is in great condition, I would probably then have to default to choosing Liz, just because she's a high maintenance dog, and she's got terrible feet, terrible feet, and she has to wear booties pretty much at all times. So I would just cut her from the team, just because I would have to cut someone, and she's a, you know, higher maintenance kind of girl. Yes. Okay, and then next to Liz, in this whole section here, we have 6 in this section. And next to Liz is the only girl here in this section that's not part of this litter. This is cousin Drew. Drew's a couple years older than them. And we got her as a 2-year-old. She is one of my main leaders. And she's small as well, but she of course is a little bit more valuable, because I still won't put her in wheel because of her size, but she is not only a leader, but she's one of my main leaders, right, Drew Boo? So, and she's great at teaching. She's great at on-by. She doesn't mess with other teams. So if it's going to be a day where there's lots of crowds, I might put her up in lead, just because she'll ignore everything. She's great at ignoring everything, including me sometimes. But out here in the yard, when the other dogs get excited from the neighbors' dogs, she will ignore them too. So it's her asset, so that helps the team. Next to Drew is Looker. Looker's another one of my main leaders. Putting her and Quita together has always been a pretty common thing for me to do. Come here, Looker. There we go. Good. And Looker, stay here. Look her. Confused. Yes, she can get confused quite easily, but she's great because she can lead, and she's my biggest girl. So I also often put her in wheel to give the wheel dogs a break and her a break from lead. So she's very versatile in that way. I can use her anywhere on the team. And she's great with the younger kids out here in the yard, which translates also to the gang line. So next to Looker is Joy. And come here, Joy. Good girl. That's a good girl, yes. So, Joy is from the second litter. She just turned 5 like the rest of them, of course. But I've retired her from racing because of her seizure disorder. Right now it's under control. We haven't seen a seizure since we had to change her meds in the fall. But it's a long process if she has one, and that would be hard to work through out on a race trail. So she is going to join the recreational team with her mother and aunt this fall and just do short recreational runs so that she can still run, but she's not going to be on the race team, and she's not going to train with the race dogs. And that'll help make my team a little bit smaller because I'm going to have a large team to train this year, larger than I've ever had. And by taking Joy off, that'll help me, and she still gets to run. She's a good girl, though. Otherwise, she's a good girl. She was one of my leaders before all this happened. And she was versatile, much like Looker and Quite. I could put her in wheel. I can put her up front. But now we're just going to keep her on the rec team. Lastly in this section, next to Joy, is Faith. And Faith and Joy are, again, they're sisters, but also best friends. That's why their kennels are next to each other. I often put them together on the gang line. Often put them together in the dog yard to play together. Come here, Faith. Come on up here. Good girl. And I love Faith's running style. I usually forget about her on the gang line because she's rarely any trouble. She just settles right into a nice even trot. She doesn't tangle. She doesn't cause problems. So she can pee on the run where a lot of dogs want to stop the team. So she's great that way. She's a little more versatile because I can put her in wheel as well. She's a little bit larger dog, not as hefty as Looker. But I will use her in wheel, and in fact used her greatly in wheel on the 100-mile Eagle Cap race. And her leading, she's been in a few leads. It's not something that she's really taken a liking to. She's done at least 1 or 2 really good leads, as well as 1 or 2 leads where you could tell she just did not feel comfortable there. So, and then, you know, we had some really poor training years. I could still try her in lead, see how she does. Maybe she just needed more maturity, and as a 5-year-old, we could try her. But she's got a lot to add to the team, even though she's not a leader. Good. Okay. And so that's all the girls that we have on this side, starting down at that end and coming all the way back up to here's all 3 litters with the girls in them, and then of course Cousin Drew.